Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming, guys. And thanks for joining, making your way here. Really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come here. This is our very first mindful session in person and hybrid as well for those joining online. Very excited to start this and hopefully not the last one. I feel like it's one thing to meet on Zoom, but it's another just kind of being in face to face and having even conversations like we did outside and building that real connection. So really grateful to have this opportunity today. And Shankar, thank you so much for helping facilitate this session we have coming up, which will be about breathwork today, which I'm sure we get to explore that in a few different ways about how our breath kind of shapes not only our physical body, but our mental state as well. And we're going to explore a few lenses through how that can happen. So before handing it off to Shankar, I just want to quickly acknowledge the traditional owners of this land on which we're meeting today and all of their rich spiritual practices that have occurred on this date. So they're elders, past, present, and emerging. And with that, I guess I'll hand over to Shankar. You can take it away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, good to see familiar faces. Good to see people I've met before. And it's always nice meeting in person, quite different to when you're channeling the energies through Zoom, as you can kind of zone out, when you're in that setting. It's like you use it for work and school and studies, and just sometimes isn't the best way to communicate some ideas. But I'm great to see that we've got such a youthful presence. It's always nice when youngsters want to not just understand about the Dharma, but also are willing to practice it and are willing to come to something and give it a good go, not just have anything in the back of their mind before they enter into a sacred space, not just around them, but within them as well. So the idea of breathwork, pranayama, meditation, is about finding your center, the easiest way to put it. And what that center means is a balance within yourself. So you're able to have clear thoughts in your mind, you're able to act with precision, and you're able to visualize that which you wish to achieve as it is. So a way to describe visualization is when we're doing guided meditation, sometimes the yogi or the teacher will ask you to close your eyes and be seated and picture yourself being seated. And there's many different techniques to do this, but sometimes it's not very easy to do. But I've actually stumbled upon quite a technique that's quite practical that Chetan actually ran in his meditation session, which is through the eyes of a director, filmmaker. And that's good because you take the onus of yourself away from that the image that you're trying to visualize, and you kind of look at yourself from an objective perspective, which is where you need to begin when you're starting that journey of self-inquiry. If you're not able to look at yourself through the lens of objectivity, then you're never going to be able to question yourself, and you're never going to be able to ask yourself where you're going wrong either. So with that in mind, today's session is going to be using breathwork to try and find your center. And there's three different ways that we're going to do that. First is we're going to ease ourselves into the idea of meditation. I'm going to be chanting some Shanti mantras, just some general peace chants. You don't have to chant anything as long as you guys are present. Just be mindful of keeping your back straight and closing your eyes and listening to the vibrations and the different shabdas or sounds that are considered sacred to the Hindu philosophy, but also universal in principle and action as well. The first prayer will be a general peace chant. Bhadram karnebhi shृणुयामदेवाः Bhadram pashyemakshabhiryajatraः Sthirairangai stushthuvagam sastanobhihi व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषान् विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Peace to all beings present. Next one is a little acknowledgement of our teachers. So, with your eyes closed, if you could envision all of your spiritual guides, your parents, those whom you hold thankful to giving you education and knowledge and wisdom of life. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirhandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मत्परमगुरुभ्यो नमः. अस्मत्सर्वगुरुभ्यो नमः. And the next one is an acknowledgement of the traditional custodians of the land, thanking them for allowing us to be able to practice our dharma on this platform, in this beautiful country that we call home. Om Namah Sadase, Namah Sadasespadaye, Namah Sakinam Puroganam Chakshushe, Namo Dive, Nama Prathivyai, Saprada Sabham Me Gopaya, Ye cha Sakya Sabhasadaha, Tanindriya Vadhakuru, Sarvamayur Upasadaha, Sarvebhyo Shri Mahajanebhyo Namaha. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Okay. I want you guys to listen to the sounds that are around you. Familiarize yourself with the breeze brushing against the trees, birds chirping in the background, little crickets cricketing away. The clock ticking. Little possums chattering in the trees. Dogs barking in the streets. Every sound that you hear around you is part of your environment and part of you. When you hear the wind, you feel the breeze. You may be in this room, but you are receiving the knowledge around you. You may be seated, but the world is still revolving. And try to slowly come back to this room. Separate the sounds of the outside from my voice that is reverberating inside the room. Try to feel the presence of the fellow yogis around you. Listen to the sounds of people shuffling. Familiarize yourself and be comfortable with everything. Get you guys to slowly breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And while you're breathing in, keep your back straight as you breathe in. Slowly getting comfortable as you breathe out. You have to twist your body a little bit, that's fine. If you have to shake your arm a little, that's fine. But breathing in form, and breathing out and relaxing. Breathing in and keeping your form. And breathing out and relaxing. Breathing in and breathing out. Picture a director sitting where I am with a camera looking at you, looking at yourself through the lens of this camera. You zoomed in at your brows. All you can see are your eyebrows, not the smile on your faces. Release the tension that you have in between your eyebrows. Picture yourself releasing that tension in between your eyebrows. That's good. Slowly pan that camera down past your eyes to your nose and focus on breathing in. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Slowly pan that camera down to your chest. Picture your chest expanding as you breathe in, and your spine nice and straight. And breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Panning that camera all the way down to your hands that are tightly gripping your legs right now, but I want you to slowly release that grip. Open your palms up. Beautiful. Breathing in, breathing out. Now I want you guys to slowly zoom back till you can picture your whole body in this seated position. Hold this position just for a minute. Watch yourself. Try to imagine what you are doing. Try to imagine what you're thinking. Listening to the sounds around you. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now we're going to slowly ask you guys Stay here. I'm going to be nice and quiet. Leave you with your thoughts here. And I'll bring you back with the sound of a bell. Slowly feel yourself being pulled back into your body, away from that camera. The second bell. As the bell vibrates through your body, I want you to slowly feel yourself slipping back in. And on the third bell, I want you guys to open your eyes. Okay. So, how are we all feeling in terms of? I know we all have mixed opinions when it comes to guided meditation, but how are we generally feeling in the sense of quietening inside our head? How does it feel? Does it feel quieter, or does it feel like okay? Look, I know it's a difficult thing to be able to visualize yourself sitting and meditating. But the idea of using the camera is to distance yourself from that. The first step towards creating clarity in your head is to be able to separate your thoughts from your physical actions. The reason why many of us don't have clarity, I'm not saying you guys specifically, but many people, I've struggled with this issue as well. But the reason why many people have issues with clarity is because they're not good at managing their thoughts. They're not good at penning down, they're not good at expressing how they truly feel at certain moments in time. And so this sort of a meditation is generally used to help give that little bit of a break to your head, so that you're not ticking, you're not constantly bogged down with thoughts. And this method is used commonly to pen down, create structures, to create, like, say you've got a program that you're planning for, there's a million things going on in your head. Using something like this will just give you an opportunity to breathe, slow down, and be able to pen your thoughts down. And then you can put that piece of paper away and sit back and try closing your eyes again. And you'll realize that, okay, I actually feel like I've downloaded something out of my head and I'm no longer got this thing. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to go back to these thoughts, but it just means you've pigeonholed it for now. And you've given yourself that break within your head that everyone needs. Everyone, especially in this day and age, everyone has a lot of information that we're just constantly being pumped and primed with. Lots of TV, lots of social media, lots of lovely events and self startups and things that we're all concerned with. It's very easy to forget things. And this method I found is very useful to, if you have a busy day, if you literally just want to have a clear, good start to the day, sitting down, picturing yourself. Actually, eventually the idea is, once you get to the stage of picturing yourself, you should then be able to picture yourself getting up and doing those tasks that you've written down. But the first step is always, you've got to teach someone to crawl before they can walk. Now, a lot of people may already be at that stage where they can actually picture themselves doing things and do it. A common method to do this is called lucid dreaming. So a lot of people naturally, when they go to sleep, they can actually start controlling their dreams and doing things as if, it was like an amazing world they lived in, flying and all sorts of things. But a lot of people also use this space as like a creative space to be able to explore like scenarios. And like a common example is boxers and fighters and sparrers. They commonly picture themselves in their dreams like fighting their opponents before a big game. And a lot of fighters actually, if they can, they use this as an opportunity to be able to actually see how a thing might go down, see how an event might go down. So this, I've actually myself been practicing with this method in terms of not the dreaming part, but the visualizing part. And I did hit a little bit of a roadblock, but then luckily, thanks to Chetan and his creative take on the guided meditation, I was able to kind of restructure the way I looked at this form of meditation. And eventually I found myself to a point where I can actually, when I close my eyes, regardless of things going on around me, if I'm in my head, I'm in my head. It takes a lot to bring me out of it. Takes a bit to get into it, but once you get into it, it takes a lot to bring me out of it. A key proponent to any kind of meditation session is being aware of your breathing and being aware of your breath. And this might surprise you, but not everyone breathes the same. So yeah, I know we all breathe the same air, we all breathe the same oxygen and carbon, nitrogen, everything, but we're not breathing it in the same manner. And not saying that any one way is right or wrong, but there are more effective ways to be able to retain all of the nutritious elements of the air that is around us and be able to oxygenate our blood in a more effective manner. The most useful way to breathe that I found is breathing through your nose, breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And the easiest way to catch yourself from, when you're not breathing and retrain yourself is by using they call it a bag method. And that's why on airplanes, sometimes they'll have a bag if someone gets sick. A lot of people do this method wrong. Like they think that it's about breathing into the bag and then breathing that air back in. No, you're using the bag it's a gestalt. It's to give you the idea that you're expanding your breath and you're letting it out of your body. The inhales should be coming in through your nose and the exhales out through your mouth. So you're expelling all of the carbon dioxide and everything, all the bad stuff that you're not using out of your mouth. But what you're taking in is going through your nose, and all the filters here are doing the job for you and doing the work so that the oxygen you get is pure and fresh and good. So I've given you guys some balloons there. We're going to help me decorate my birthday party. No, I'm joking. This is we're going to be using this as a way to manage our breath. It's going to sound a bit silly, but or it might look a bit silly rather, but it's effective. It works. So try it, and then I'll give you guys a chance to knock it. So the idea is, see if you can pinch between the two. You don't have to put it in your mouth totally. Just pinch between the two. So in through the mouth, and then, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So one solid breath in and out through the mouth. Okay. So in through the nose. Cool. So as you guys are breathing out, you'll probably notice that you can control the expansion of the air. I know it's a bit funny method, I know, but you have to try it all before you knock it. But the idea is you want to be able to control the breath, and the easiest way to visualize that is by seeing something expanding in front of you, so that you can give a physical attention to the action itself. So a lot of you guys, I've noticed, have been mouth breathing. Yeah, it's a funny term. Mouth breathing it's commonly an insult, isn't it? Like in Western society, they call mouth breathers. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's some, smoke where there's fire. It's probably not that great for you to go about inhaling only through your mouth. There may be a time where you need to, where you say your nose is blocked up or whatever it is. But while you're still physically able to, try to exercise breathing through your nose as much as possible. So the reason I use the balloon again is because literally it shows you how much capacity you have. If you can't blow up a balloon with one breath, then there's some work that needs to be done, some attention that needs to be given to your cardio, to your breathing, and how you're breathing as well. But also, the other thing is that it actually gives you an opportunity to visualize, see that breath actually coming out, see what that feels like. So when you're blowing into a balloon, you have to force the air through a small channel. There's a very tiny channel there that you need to force that air through. All the breath that goes in needs to come out. So that is what the kind of breath work you need to be doing. You need to make sure all of the oxygen that you're breathing in comes out with one breath as well. This is good for getting into a flow state. If you want to achieve like a frame of mind where you're not distracted, where you don't have any, when there's noise, stuff going on around you, if there's any kind of distractions that you want to separate yourself from, then focusing on strict inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth will actually give you the opportunity to be able to manage your breathing and manage your stress, and also give some kind of control to whatever the task is at hand. So I'm going to get you guys to close your eyes, because I know it can be a bit visually intimidating when you're in a setting and you've got the eyes on you, but try and keep your eyes closed and really focus on that inhale through your nose. And I want a nice strong inhale, both nostrils in. And a slow, controlled exhale through the mouth. And another one through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing in through the nose. Perfect. They have some good vibes in the air. So the idea of focusing on your breathing is to give relief to any agitations that you may possess, any indifferences that you may possess, any emotions that you might find difficult to control. So when it comes to your breath work specifically, the idea of controlling your emotions and using your breath work to regulate that can be something that's difficult for a lot of people to understand. There's many common sayings that we are familiar with, which is like, slow down, take a deep breath, smell the roses. A lot of people say these things, but they don't necessarily practice these things. What I want you guys to do is literally slow down by using your breathing, and not just breathing in and being slow with the release, but I want you guys to be breathing in, breathing out, and slow with the inhale, the next inhale. So this time when we're doing our breathing, we're going to be doing a deep inhale, holding our breath for 2 counts, exhaling for 1 count, and then refraining from breathing for 2 counts before inhaling again. So I will give the counts and you guys can do the breathing. So breathing in through the nose, 1, 2, holding your breath, 1, 2, 3, and exhaling, 1. Now holding for 1, 2, 3, and inhaling, 1, 2, exhaling, and holding, 1, 2. I want you guys to try and practice this on your own, but find where you're comfortable. So if it's too much for you guys to hold your breath for that long, then that's fine, but find where you're comfortable and focus on the inhale and the retention from breathing. As with last time, on the third bell, I'll slowly get you guys to open your eyes. When you guys are breathing in, what is the feeling that you're generally feeling once you've held that breath in for 2 seconds? Is it difficult to hold in, or is it like you found it got easier the more you did it? Okay. And now, like when you're breathing through your, like, are you able to be more, like, are you noticing that you're more aware when you're breathing now that I mentioned it? Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Perfect. Okay. That is key. Mentioning something is key. These are triggers. So pujaris, yogis, pundits, they all use triggers to be able to keep themselves in check. Triggers are anything that you can use that are symbolic, kind of pseudo-hypnotic methods. So like the bell is one of them. Mantra is one of them. Mantra is a form of tantra, which is like a physical incantation or something, or something that you chant to remind yourself of a certain frame of mind that you want to be in or want to achieve. So mantra is not for everyone. Not everyone can chant, first of all, to begin with. But the second thing is mantra is one of those things that is, if you're not chanting the right kind of things at the right time, it may not have the right effects on you as well. You know, if you're in the sanctum of priests and you're in a temple, you know, naturally the vibe around you is like people are quite in a spiritual frame of mind. You naturally feel the vibes and you naturally kind of set into that tone. But in a home, when you're by yourself, you may not be able to recreate those those notions. So you can use triggers to be able to help assist you. And I use the bell. Like, you guys may have your own kind of trigger. If you guys are familiar with what is that DiCaprio movie, Inception? He had a little, what was that? That spinning top. Yes, that is a trigger. That's something that he can associate with to give himself clarity that, yeah, this is a dream versus this is reality. In a similar sense, like all meditative practices, they're all about establishing and creating clarity. Clarity in your head, clarity in the moment. And that is why meditation is one of those techniques that is probably the most beneficial thing to practice if you wanted to achieve mindfulness, because you're literally allowing yourself to not be bogged down by thoughts other than what is in the present and what is happening now. If you guys have been doing this meditation consistently, there's a concept of sankalpa that gets brought up, which is a statement of intent. The sankalpa is very important because this is you holding yourself accountable. This is you creating that opportunity for yourself to be able to give yourself that task, give yourself relief from the task at hand. Just because you've written it down, though, doesn't mean that the task itself is admonished and that's it. Remember, you've written it down to give yourself that peace of mind so that you can go ahead and be in the moment and allow yourself to achieve your task to full fruition. So there's two methods that we've used so far. One is through listening, through using the explorative techniques, or like, using the cameraman. Next technique is using a breathing, which is pranayama. And within that meditation session, we've also been managing our asana, or our seating position. We've all been, very good. See, once you say it, once you give the trigger, then you straight away pick yourself up. Similarly, just like that, like when you go away from this, you're going to hear me saying, oh, sit up, sit up. You sit up, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. That's good. You want that. You want yourself to be reminded of who you are and what you're going to do to achieve what you need to achieve. So I'm going to try a little exercise with you guys for this third technique, because I know some of you guys probably require some external, what do you call it? Like a external physical kind of shock. So I'm going to get you guys to verbalize now. You guys are going to be chanting. You guys are going to be using your voices, whatever your tone, register, frequency, whatever that is, that's fine. But we're going to be chanting first with a simple Om. So I could get you guys all to close your eyes, sitting up straight. Yep, that's okay. Remember, if you're tense, allow yourself to be a bit relaxed. Yeah, wiggle it out, that's fine. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Okay, so we're going to inhale, and now we're going to chant Om. Breathing in. Breathing in. Breathing in. And again. Come on, guys, I need to be louder than this. What is this? Come on. We're deep inhale. Come on. Expel your voices. I want to shake this room. See, you guys are holding back. Come on. One more inhale. Breathing in, and one more. So you guys just naturally go into tune. It's amazing. I don't even have to tell you guys. Okay, breathing in. One more sound to this after the Om. It's not a funny one, so no laughing. Breathing in. And the sound we're going to add is gum after the Om. Gum. Yeah, like a gum tree. Breathing in. Breathing in. Now the last sound, or the second last sound, is Ganapataye. Everyone know that one? Everyone knows Ganapati? Yep. Perfect. Breathing in. Try and do it in one breath. That's the idea. So breathing in. And once more, breathing in. Now one more sound at the end of the Ganapataya, Namaha. Okay? All in one breath. Breathing in. Come on, once more, nice and as loud as you can. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. Breathing in slowly. Breathing out slowly. So this is a tantric method of meditation. So tantra means, again, that which is manifesting physically through, and we are using mantra or dhyana mantra to kind of force our brains to dump all the information that's currently running around inside of it and allow it to enter a state of emptiness so that we can fill it with the thoughts that we wish to fill it with. Now, a lot of our ancient ascetics and sages and rishis and all of our ancient texts, they're all full of Vedas and mantras and all these chanting and all this crazy stuff that, to this day and age, modern people that, don't do puja or don't understand the concept of puja, for them, it's just like heebie-jeebie. It's like juju, magic. It's like it doesn't work. Or how does it work kind of thing. But each one of those mantras has what is called as a bija or a root note. So when you're saying the word Gam Ganapataye Namaha, just saying Ganapataye, you're saying all the shabdas that you need to say to create certain vibrations within your body to be able to flush your mind. So is anyone familiar with cymatics, spelled Cymatics? It's a study where basically they pump frequencies through like bass speakers, and they put like a plate on top of that, and there's sand on it. And depending on the frequency they're putting, the sand makes certain patterns. And all of these patterns can be found on temple walls. All the patterns that these sounds make, they're all found on our temple walls. So where do you hear most chanting? Usually Brahmins get together or priests get together and they chant in a temple. Now, the idea is you do feel different when you enter into a sacred space, whether it's a church or a monastery or temple. You do feel certain energies and you do feel kind of recharged and revitalized by those energies. Those energies are nothing other than, a physical manifestation of these cymatics or these reverberations, these vibrations, these sounds. And the reason why the sages from a long time ago have been chanting Vedas is because the Veda is it's done in a poetic form. Poems are easier to remember than certain sounds, certain syllables. So that's why they use these methods as a way to be able to achieve certain states of mind by using mantra. And again, there's other methods as well, like using triggers, focusing on your pranayama, your breathing, focusing on your seating position, asana. There you go, seating, and then you pick yourself up again, like that. Using all of these methods together probably is going to give you the best opportunity to create that result that you're after. So you may find that any one of these methods on itself can work, or you can find that incorporating all of them together kind of help create that big change that you're looking for when you're entering a meditative state or doing meditation. But the most important thing before any meditation is sankalpa, or giving yourself that statement of intent. Why am I doing this meditation today? Why are you guys here today? Like, why are you here on a public holiday, evening of a Monday, got to work tomorrow? Why are you here? I don't understand. But you guys wanted me to be here. So I'm here and I'm happy to help you guys understand a little bit more about breathing and breathwork. Like that, similarly, individually, each one of you guys has your own reason for being here. Hello, namaskar, take a seat. Each one of you guys has your own reason for being here. Each one of you guys, you don't need to reveal that reason, whatever it is. But you have that clear intent in your mind before you came here. Similarly, before you enter any kind of meditative state, you need to give yourself that opportunity to have clarity in your thoughts, to set yourself that goal. So that's why I started with the breathing exercise. The guided meditation exercise where you're picturing yourself And then the breathing to make you guys listen to your body and understand what's going on. Visualize your body, picture it, practice it, and then introducing the other elements as well, like the sound, the bell, the mantra, Gam Ganapataye Namaha, using as many methods as possible to achieve that clarity within our heads. So, in terms of when we're looking at any specific branch of like meditation, the main goal statement to allow you to create that clarity. So statement, clear clarity, and then visualize, and then act. So the action, though, is beyond today. The action is how you guys go back out and use the practices that you guys learn, how you guys choose to use the practices that you learn. That is upon you guys. But you may find that some techniques work. Like I said, one or two of these methods may work for you. They all may work for you. None of them may work for you at all. That's okay. Meditation is about practice. Practice. Remember, you have to learn to crawl before you walk. If you can't picture yourself sitting there yet, then try to make your next step. Okay, the next time I try meditation, I want to get to a stage where I can picture myself sitting there. Or if you can't quiet your mind, the next stage, next time I try meditation, I want to clear my mind. I want to dump all my thoughts. Or if you can't control your laughter, the next time I attend meditation, I'm going to try and not let out my emotions. So with that in mind, I think I've given you guys quite a lot of ideas and notions. I want to kind of give one more small peace chime, which I always do at the end of any ceremony, just to give you guys that little bit of physical well-being, feeling of clarity. Even if the acts that you did today did not give you that, at least I want you guys to try and think that this mantra or this chant, the vibrations that you hear from the mantra are going to do its job. They're going to cleanse your mind and allow you to leave here feeling a little less burdened. So close your eyes. See, I didn't even need to say back straight this time. Very good learners. And breathing in through your nose. And breathing out through your mouth. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschad Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Everyone repeat after me, please, with your eyes closed. Om Shanti 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karhavavahai Tejasvinam Vaditamastu Mavir Vishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Harihi Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you, guys. Dhanyawad.
Thank you so much, Shankarji. That was beautiful. I was definitely transported some places and feeling very calm as a result of that. So thank you for that. Hopefully, you guys felt some level of calm or clarity during that too, even if it was for a few moments. I think reflecting just on, I guess, the concept of breathwork for me, what it means to me is I use what we've kind of learned today, these different practices almost as tools in our tool belt that we can carry for ourselves and use them for various challenges, obstacles that we face. So, for example, there'll be days where we're scattered and our mind is just everywhere and we need to kind of bring it in focus. There'll be days where we're feeling lethargic and lazy and we just don't want to get out of bed. There'll be days where we're feeling anxious and depressed. And all of these tools kind of provide a different technique to help overcome those inner challenges. So my suggestion from my own experience is to explore each of them and kind of practice them in your own way. Like we've this is kind of a tutorial, but I think for me, what I found more is just going out, closed room, just in silence, and just trying these for myself and modifying them to kind of your own body and what works for you. So hopefully this that you had a moment of there of like, oh, this feels good. Hold on to that and try to explore this more is maybe my offering for today. And just and a final thought to conclude. I was just kind of reflecting on, I guess, the fact that we're doing this together. You know, I feel like this is quite special to me because I haven't really seen many gatherings in society these days which are centered around sort of this self development, but also from a supporting mental health sort of practice. So very grateful that you guys are part of that. Um, as you guys know, these events we run are sort of free. But what we were hoping to do, what we've done for the last few events is rather than charge tickets or anything like that, we open an opportunity for everyone to donate if they like, and not to us, collecting funds for different various non for profits and charities, causes that are kind of aligned with the kind of stuff we're also doing, but also kind of acknowledging the privilege that we all have in being able to be in such a beautiful part of the world like this and meditate and find that stillness and work on ourselves. So for this event, we've actually partnered up with Are You Okay? The organization who, why we resonated is that they're also about building community to support mental health, right? By not just treating mental health as this individual journey of you got to go into your quiet room by yourself and do breath work. It's that is an aspect of it, but there's another aspect of you go and you sit together and do it, or you check in on with your friend and say, "Are you okay?" And that's the same way you're checking in with your breath. That's you checking in with them and giving them a chance to check in with themselves. So just, I guess, a thought for myself is I'm going to try, while I'm doing these practices, supporting my own mental health, is checking in on our friends and trying to support theirs as well in that journey and growing stronger together. But today, if you guys like, we have a little tap ID thing set up. So any point over the night, we're going to have dinner served shortly. But if you guys like, you feel free to put any amount um, that feels fair to you based on maybe the value you got today or just whatever you'd like to give to them. They're doing some really good work at the moment into the research space in the mental health, working with research institutions and working with corporates and other organizations to implement better mental health approaches and stuff like that with that community focused approach. So anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you all once again for coming to this episode of Mindful on Mondays. And thank you once again, Pandit Shankar, for hosting that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.